Yeah, hi coders. So today we will discuss about how two microservices will interact with each other. So first of all, there is the two way from where we can call one microservice to another microservice. Like if we have a microservice and if we have b microservice, we can call it through two different ways. The first way is RestTemplate and the second way is WebClient. Now coders, like for the REST template, it is in the it is in the maintenance, and also Spring has told means that it will going to redundant. Okay, so there will be the web client going forward. So but I will explain you regarding the web client as well as REST template both. So suppose if we have the user service and if we have the order service, how the user service will call it to the order service, and if we have the email service and the order service, how email service will call the order service, like that we can check how the two services will interact with each other. So we have here, I have added the web client. So firstly we'll go with the theory part. Like in this lecture we'll do the theory part. So first of all, what is web client? Web client is something which is used to call one service to another service through means non-blocking http. Okay, now for this web client, like firstly we need to add the dependency, which is this Spring org Spring framework dot boot, Spring Boot starter web flux. So this will be in the webcon.xml file, and then we need to add the configuration for the same. So for the configuration, we need to add it in the configuration class. So in that we will create one class whose name web client config, and in the upper section we need to give the annotation which is @configuration, and in the method label we need to give @bean. I will explain you. If you don't know about this, you can just comment me, and I will create another video for that. Okay, all those kind of things, beans and configuration and all. But for time being, I'm just explaining you how the microservice will interact. Now, in the configuration class, like we have the web client config, and inside this web client config class, I have the bean, and in the bean, like I am defining the method whose return type is webclient.builder, and I have given one method name. Now here I am returning webclient.builder, which is the return type. Okay, and now this is something the controller where the firstly the user will interact with this control, means user will give the request, send the request to the UI, and from the UI it will go to the controller. There will be the API layer, but API gateway, but from the but I will but ultimately in the API, firstly it will go to the controller. So from the controller it will trigger. Okay, so in the controller we have uh, REST controller, and we have added auto wired that service, which service we will where we have the implementation logic. Okay, so in this controller, like we are adding this service. So in the service class, it only we have the logic, so the business logic. So here I am triggering that microservice call. So here you can see that I have added the gate mapping, and here I am adding the uh, path which is called other service. So here I am creating one method which for the web client we need to add that as return type as mono string. Like string, we are returning the data type is string, but here as we get the string in the form of mono, so I am writing mono string and the method name. So here I am returning this service dot call another microservice. So in this uh, in this service, firstly we need to create it. So here I have created the service with the annotation as service, and the class this auto-wired. I am auto-wiring this WebClient.builder with the variable name as WebClient builder. Now I am with the variable name as WebClient builder. Now uh, I am creating one method which is monostring, call another microservice, and there I am returning WebClient builder dot build dot get dot URI. Inside URI parameter we have URL. So I have already created one URL. Okay, so URL and then dot retrieve and then dot body to mono. So in this body to mono, how we'll get it in the string dot class, and sometimes like so whatever return type we need to means get. So like suppose if you want this in the form of, suppose if we want this in the form of employee object in the form of string, so like that we can define here we can define like which format we want. Now also like which URL or which API will call, for that we need to define here in the place of URI. So here I have already given that URL, and here I am giving the key of that in the URI. So like that we can do. So let me explain you in this more theoretical format. So uh, I have one document for you as well. So let me quickly show that to you. Let me share my screen. So here something is how the two microservices will interact with each other. So for the web client, I have added the configuration. So web client is nothing but is used to make non-blocking HTTP request to another service. Okay, like we can make a request, non-blocking HTTP request to another service, like we can call. But in the case of REST template is something HTTP request to another service. Here we have the non-blocking HTTP request, but there we have HTTP request for to create the another service. Okay, and uh, for having that wave flux, like we need to create one dependency which is wave flux, and in the configuration class we need to add the same configuration above the class level, and in the method level we need to add bean, and then we need to call this web client dot builder. Okay, so web client is the class and builder is the method. Now as we have the controller section, so in the controller it will trigger. So from the controller it will trigger, the request will trigger. So we have created one auto-wired which is microservice caller service, and created the variable, and then we I have created one get mapping call other service, and there I am using mono string. So this will return mono string, and then microservice dot call another microservice. It will return my okay call another. So this I need to create call another microservice. So there will be the service class, and there I will have the public class microservice caller service. Now I will auto wire this with webclient dot builder web client builder as a variable, and the string URL I've just given one value, the one URL from where we will call that particular service. So I have given, and here just have to we just have to uh, do this web client dot build web client builder dot build dot get dot URI, and here I am passing the URL which I have set the value, the URL key, and then retrieve, and then body to mono. So what format we want in the last, we want in the string format. So I have added that class string dot class. Suppose if there will be a different format like employee format, student format, book format, like so employee dot class, book dot class, like that we can get. Okay, now coming to the REST template. So let me show the REST template to you as well. So this is something REST template. Okay, let me go here and put it. So this is something REST template. So REST template is used to make non-blocking, is used to make HTTP request to another service. Okay, REST template is used to make HTTP request to another service. The REST template, how to use this REST template? Firstly, we need to add the dependency, which is starter web. The artifact ID will be starter web. There is the starter web flux. Okay, and now configuration class we have. So we need to set this API configuration and the bean method, which REST template, and returning this REST template. Okay, and the controller class. So in the controller class, caller controller we have added, and REST controller. So same thing we are doing here as well. The only change is here we need to create the configuration as REST template, and the other thing we are doing here is we are passing directly as a string, returning as string. There we are returning as mono string, but here we are returning as string, and here we have a REST template. Means we are calling the service class with the REST template, and here we are the method of the REST template is get for object. Means but there what is the method of the object in the web flux? So that is uh, some web client builder dot build dot get dot URI. Then we need to pass the URL, uh, then retrieve, then we need to add the body to mono, and what format we want. Here we are doing like get for object, and the URL we are passing here in itself in this parameter, and the what format we want in the second argument. Okay, the URL and the format. So we are passing like that, and we will get the result. So this is something about REST template. So please let me know how you like the video. Uh, Comment it, and please subscribe the channel. We'll show that if you will show the implementation of this in the next video. So until unless, keep watching. Bye.